I want to fix them personally. Peter wait, Peter looks as the roads by the gate. Peter, look the Englishman, we send us the roads to Africa land. Peter, take trip, take rally, but leave Victoria for me.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon? I hope everybody is doing particularly fine on this wonderful, wonderful Monday in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Welcome to the persons on my Facebook page. Jomin Lewis is there very early. Ruth Chetram, good evening to you. Donna Landon, good evening to you. To the persons on my YouTube page, Alban Harris, Patsy Frank, Desiree Joseph, Kathleen Lendo, Gemma Warwood, Errol Bonaparte, Mol Patrick, Red Girl Pascal. Red Girl Pascal realized that they've joined the YouTube classroom. And no longer seeing you on Facebook, you're on YouTube. Wherever you're listening to me from right now in Grenada, Carriacou or PD Martinique, welcome to the Class in Session program. Cuthbert Bravoy, good evening to you. There are 18 viewers on Facebook, and I have only 2 shares. The math's not making sense. Math's the maths. Good evening to my 2 lovely little friends out there in Sateers. Mimi, good evening to you. I hope that mommy is treating you well. Micaiah, good evening to you also. I hope you guys are having yourself a wonderful, wonderful day, right? God's blessings to each and every person that is listening. Belva, good evening. Alexa, how are you? Leila, good evening. Javion, good evening. A set of good evenings to a set of lovely people in Grenada right now. On Saturday, my son would be celebrating. I wish after Friday we could just jump straight into Sunday. I sure that guy is going to stress me out, man. It is mostly sunny in most parts of Grenada. Share the live right now. Daisy has joined the YouTube page. I was giving so much kudos to my YouTube page. I believe some children decided to leave the Facebook classroom and go into the YouTube classroom. Wherever you're listening from, ladies and gentlemen, as long as you're hearing my voice and seeing my handsome face, then you're welcome. Trinidad and Tobago is in the house today.
They have plenty more coming. They call them from overseas, but leave my look.
To the persons out there in the diaspora, good evening to you.
The way they were so unkind, so much corruption that they make. Now it is time they must feel me way. Peter, Peter, don't hold me back. Look, the one we drop the public order act. Peter, look, catch that big belly fella. We carry my money down Panama.
How many of you did enjoy your weekend?
The woman who bring foreign troops.
I had myself a wonderful weekend, man. Chilandon, good evening to you. Yeah, look at fellas with respect. Good evening, Auntie Donna. So wherever you're listening to me from, somebody saying they're watching all the way from the UK. The United Kingdom is also in the house. Shirley Lacrette, good evening to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening, pleasant good evening. And again, I want to say good evening, especially to my wonderful wife out there at the gas station on Lagoon Road. Good evening to you, and God blessings to you, and to the rest of the staff out there. I want to say good evening to you. All right, have yourself a wonderful day. To my stepmom out there in Victoria, my dad, good evening. So many persons are seeing me nowadays. I'm like, I'm on the program, you're not saying hi. So I want to ensure that I do that, so that persons don't boss me head. You understand? So that persons don't pelt big stone behind me. But I would not advise anybody to stone me. I really would not advise anybody to stone me. I am from Victoria in St. Mark's, and that alone should tell you. That alone should tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't take chances with me. You don't take chances with me. I'm a Victorian by birth. All right. It is embedded in me, that we have grown up understanding the trajectory in order to pick up a stone and be able to be very accurate at our throw. I don't know how you all call it. Normally you all say, oh, we pelt stone, but in St. Mark's, we say we have an accurate trajectory as it relates to our target in which we want to hit. So I don't know if all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start this evening's conversation. I know some of you guys are here to take that listening and understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to first let you guys know, just in about early next week or by end of month, we will be having, well, later on I would, make a formal post and so on. We will be officially having our class in session t-shirts that will be going on sale. Also, you would be able to get a class in session teacup that also goes with it. All right, so you can get either one or you can get both at a very reasonable price. But however, the class in session t-shirt and the class in session teacups will be on sale very soon, right? So if you need your t-shirts, make your contact. You have me on Messenger. You know my number. My number is always going across the screen, so you know my number. Give me your size, how many. So I'll be starting very soon. It is already in the printing process and so on. Arrangements have been made. The graphics have been done. These t-shirts have been selected. The person to be printing is already in the whole process of doing that. So I am saying to you guys that, yeah, Che, if you want a special cup, I will give you a special cup, a nice green one. So ladies and gentlemen, that would be soon dropping, maybe just a little bit before the month end. I project maybe by the end of the week, I would have the t-shirts done, but the teacups would take a little while. So you would get your t-shirts and your teacup. You can get, as I said, separately, or if you want both, then you would be able to get that. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, that would soon be on stream. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight to it. There is a new terminology used in Grenada, DGA. I don't know how many of you all who have heard the terminology before, but there is a new terminology used in Grenada right now. You say, anytime you hear somebody say DGA, you know what I mean. How many persons in class know what I mean? I don't know if you all have heard the terminology as yet, but DGA is the new terminology used here in Grenada, and that terminology means Deacon gone again. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so the Prime Minister is presently out of Ireland again, and so the acting Prime Minister again is Brother Andy Williams. So just for information's sake, that is what DGA mean. Deacon gone again. A lot of trips, a lot of up and down, and so far very little that comes with what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I have always said this, and I remember even when we speak of Dr. Mitchell, and the truth cannot be much further when you state that Dr. Mitchell did not care for Grenadians, right? And he continues to say that. And I believe his understanding as it relates to being able to have poor people or the lower class of people in a position where their spending powers are strong is one of the economic strategy he used for years here in Grenada. And let me just play that last clip of one of the meetings that was held in which he said what he said, and let me explain to you what this whole thing really means and his understanding as a prime minister when it comes to that. Just listen to what he said here.
When the poor people have money in their pocket, the country is moving forward. These people in government does not understand basic fundamental economics.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is simple. That is simple maths. And as a mathematician, as Dr. Mitchell is, that is simple maths. That is simple understanding. Anyone who moves around and sometimes, as we say, we're on the ground, when you look at the spending that happens when poor people are given finances, you would understand what Dr. Mitchell is saying here. When poor people have the opportunity to spend, ladies and gentlemen, unlike the average and upper class, they spend. So whenever you give out $10,000 and the poor people benefit from it, government's time to get it back happens in the blinking of an eye. Poor people always believe, or persons underneath that line always have the belief that there is something that must be bought when that money is driven in their direction. They are of the belief that when monies are in their pocket is because it ought to be spent. And you can do this simple testing. Give $5,000 to a man that has already $10,000 and $15,000 and $20,000, and give $5,000 to a poor person, and you would see what would happen. See how fast that money goes back into its economy by both parties. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the basic understanding that should be in the minds of every single party or administration that takes office. Your poor people is of paramount importance. And that is simply because at the end of the day, it is important that they have so that they could spend. We are presently seeing an administration that does not understand that fundamental understanding. We have an administration at present that when you look at it, while other countries and bigger countries are attempting to reduce the spending by government, this administration is looking to increase it. And if it is being increased for the purpose of the development of places in country, you're not seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw over the weekend, and it was all over Facebook, and it is laughable. See, one post says, St. Vincent donates 335 tons of flour to a food crisis-stricken Cuba. 5 government ministers and a pseudo-minister traveled to Cuba to donate a framed photo. Now let me say this to you. We are not against government traveling for the purpose thereof, when there are things that benefit state. Ladies and gentlemen, one delegate, and the photo is there to show that when St. Vincent would have brought that 235 tons of flour to Cuba, one delegate went to Cuba, made that donation, Cuba saying thank you very much. But in Grenada, 5 government ministers goes to Cuba to sign a documentation, memorandum of understanding, 5 ministers of government plus a delegate or ambassador. Now tell me how that makes any sense. And then, to top it off, for an administration who punks on the campaign that one of the greatest historians in Grenada to be that of Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop is one of the past leaders in Grenada who stalwarted the mere relationship between Grenada and Cuba. And you go to Cuba and want to donate a framed photo, and you don't put Maurice Bishop. You put the current Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, after 50 years of independence, has the least amount of political experience, the least amount of days spent in office, the least amount of, how I should put it, work done in state from your administration, but you go and you hand over a photograph with your face on it and you feel proud. This is misrepresentation. And let me say to the Cubans, this is not coming from Grenada. This is coming from Deacon Mitchell's administration. This donation is not in the name of Grenada and Grenadians. Because if we ought to give you something, we don't put in Deacon face on it. Deacon is the last of the apostles' face that would be given as a gift to Cuba if we have to give a gift. At the end of the day, you punks on Maurice Bishop name right through your campaign. You just made Maurice Bishop a part of our bill. His face is on one of our bills. And you go to Cuba celebrating 50 years of independence and you give a picture of your face. You don't see like selfishness? You don't see you just wicked and bluff? And you don't give it for yourself, you know. You don't give it for yourself. He stand up in the back clapping. He stand up in the back clapping while another minister makes that handover. This boy have this boy and them like some papiot, and they're not seeing it. Grown men and women, a young politician having only like a turtle bay. Simple memorandum of understanding to go and sign. Go and sign it and come back. 5 delegates, 5 ministers of government. 5 ministers of government to go and sign a memorandum of understanding. The memorandum of understanding maybe require 2 signatories. 5 delegates. Well, we know definitely the ambassador is expected to be there. We're not saying that the dear brother is not supposed to be there, because I think he's based in Cuba. But why do you send a 5-member delegation with 5 ministers? Well, maybe the photograph is showing only 5 of them, but maybe he might have had PSCs and other persons within the ministry up there. And then they come and tell us those trips sometimes is the country that spend for it. So Cuba spend that level of monies for 5 ministers of government to come to Cuba to sign a memorandum of understanding. Like Cuba's government is a dotish government. They don't understand what is spending. Bigger countries are sending persons here, and not even ministers, you know. Somebody working within certain ministries that are coming. In this technological age, ladies and gentlemen, courts, judgmental hearing are being done via Zoom. Judgmental hearing, prisoners sitting in front of computers with handcuffs while the magistrate makes a decision on a laptop, a computer, a television. Because of our technological age, I am not expecting that a signatory be done in that manner. But why send a 5 ministers of government? You know? 5, you know, not 2 or 3, you know. 5 ministers of government, leave state, that a memorandum of understanding need to be signed. The pen was too heavy. They had to raise it. in order to clear the pen that has to sign the documentation? Was it one way or the other to clear it and all of them must be there to clear it? Come on. That is not excessive spending. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be realistic with the state sports. Because I remember the Prime Minister using the terminology of the state sports and the state sports and how the state sports is important. We could not have given the assistance to our brothers and sisters from Haiti who found refuge in Grenada because of the state sports. And now you have 5 ministers of government over in Cuba on the state sports. Make it make sense. And then you give a picture of who? Deacon Mitchell. The list of the apostles when it comes to representation in Grenada. The students that are in Cuba at present is not under scholarship, not even under your administration. You go and sign something, you midday. Memorandum of understanding between states. That requires nothing about 5 and 6 ministers. That is a simple thing. Memorandum of understanding is no hard and fast thing. Every minister of government that goes to sign memorandum of understanding is 1 or 2 based on the ministry. Come on. And we don't like NDC, so we're talking that stupidness. And it's a young government, so give them a chance. Those are the terminologies being used. At the end of the day, who is really, let me see the document. Trip after trip after trip, every time. Trip after trip. We cannot understand that, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to make sense. It needs to start making sense, NDC. And again, very salient point. The thing about these people, when they do those things, and you ask, they're not coming back and explain nothing. I saw something where they said they were up for interviews on the Maurice Bishop International Airport. I haven't seen any exclusive thing on that as yet, as to what is the purpose of the memorandum of understanding. But my issue is, ladies and gentlemen, whether or not the delegation of team had to go. I am not against government having a documentation of memorandum of understanding being signed. It happens every day. Government is expected to do those things. My question is, what is the purpose of the delegation and the amount of persons who travel on the delegate? I mean, the photograph, as I said, showed 5. We don't know how many would have stayed in the hotel. We don't know how many of them would have drunk the night before and could have make it to the office the next day. I mean, to the place where they do the we are accepting too many things in which many of you hold Dr. Mitchell's throat for. Too many things we held Dr. Mitchell's throat for, we are now accepting it on the basis of what? Why are we accepting it now? Because we have a young team, man. We have a young, vibrant team. We have a young NDC. We are the best Mitchell and we like him. Ask the Mitchell what he do. Ask the Mitchell what he did. They can't answer. But they are the best one. If you look on Facebook and other places, whole week, I don't know how many of you are observing it. Green as well as blue, as black as well as yellow. Complaining as it relates to the General Hospital. Again. After a change in minister. So the problem is minister. The problem is the hospital. The problem is the administration. What is the problem now? Let us find out what really is the issue. Because persons continue to complain on this. And let me play this. Because one of the meetings that we had, one of our persons mentioned it.
No medication in the hospital for months. And they still want to blame us. But when we were there, we had medication. We had the system in place to manage with our people to get medication when they go to the hospital. And it is sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, an administration that came in the very first budget and said the past administration would have left a $2 million invoice to be paid. $2 million invoice to be paid. Up to this day, when all the big media people meet them in press conference, they haven't asked them that question yet, whether or not that $2 million that was left there, has that invoice been paid. Ask them that, because persons continue to complain as it relates to the health sector and basic items at the general hospital. Are you all still blaming the past administration for that? Is the excuse or the reasoning for that still Kid Mitchell and his past administration? Mr. Steele and them? Are we still blaming them? What is the answer to that? Ask those questions. Ask those questions. Brother Jonathan Lacrette stood in the House of Parliament and he mentioned that. He made the country know that an invoice of $2 million was left to be paid by the past administration. The next budget cycle, they come and they increase their salary. But we're not asking them whether or not the health bill has been paid. What is the status as it relates to people still complaining as it relates to basic food item, basic health items at the general hospital? We're not asking them that. We watch them take an increase in salary. We watch them do whatever with it with the state post, but we're not asking them about the bill to be paid. Because why? It is Kid Mitchell's fault. So persons are at the general hospital. They are getting CT scan on Friday. CT scan result coming back Friday. And they're telling you the person that have to read it coming in Monday or a day on holiday. In Grenada here, general hospital, first-hand experience. Me, I could tell you, nobody didn't tell me. I have first-hand experience on it. To be specific, a young child, CT scan done on Friday, results back in, and they're telling you the person who has to read the CT scan is on holiday. And so he go try to come in on Monday. The result now shows and read that the child is such in a state that they may have to leave the state. That is the Grenada for you. That is the general hospital for you. That is Kid Mitchell's fault. That is Kid Mitchell's fault. CT scan read Friday. Monday. Person on holiday. Can you believe this? How you believing things like this? A reading. That is human. That is state affairs. That is welfare. An individual going on holiday, it is expecting that somebody be in the position to do his or her work. So you telling me you're blaming NMP for that still? Now the results read. It is important that the family now need to travel with that child out of state in order to seek medical attention. Grenada health system. Grenada for you, as the person just said in a comment. And blame Kid Mitchell for that. Health sector is in a mess. Oh, teachers, nurses and doctors was going because they were not paid properly. Now they're being paid properly with new facility. And what? And what? And what? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you say. You could pay people whatever money. You see, when it comes to welfare and well-being, a lot of the complaints that are coming from that areas are that the persons, the individuals, the nurses, the doctors are not being treated properly. Some of them in the general hospital who are NDC, they believe now they're in charge. So the little one or two NNP supporters, they know they're fighting them. So there's an infight now because even head nurses and sisters on the ward who they believe is NNP, little nurses on the ground talking to them how they want. So some of them rather be home than to come and take stupidness from little nurses that come out in training 2 and 3 months ago. It is happening in the police force too. Sergeants and corporals and inspectors in whom they deem NNP. Here fellas, they sick leave them long as those person services. And they come in and pass instructions and telling inspectors and sergeants and ASP what to do and how to do it. Persons who were police officers even before their mother meet their father. And this is the problem that you're having. This is the issues that are being faced in some of those sectors. In the teaching, Ministry of Education, principals, senior teachers who served in those industries for years. You have now the clustering, the young one clustering, because there is the NDC poly teachers, and even the principal, they're trying to get them out. Even the principal, so sometimes the principal even talk to some teachers. They're doing what they want, coming to work what they want. When you see them sometimes, if you're in the area, if you're living close to the school, every minute you look outside, they're in a vehicle, they're driving to go somewhere. I remember before you go in your staff room, and the staff room don't lock, because most of the teachers inside of the staff room, they're eating from a bowl they bring home. Nowadays, they live in here and go in Timbuktu and buy lunch. So then when you see they come back, it's only an hour they could give the service to the teachers, the children in the school. Because why? There is nobody to control them, so they're doing what they want. That's their time. That is their time, so they're doing what they want. And that is the problem. But this administration is not looking at that. They come in and tell you have a $2 million invoice that NNP don't pay. That's the reason why you don't have basic items at the hospital. Stupid talk. Dirty talk. And you're asking them questions as it relates to unemployment in certain areas, like in St. Mark's, and they're telling you, ask Clarissa about the shim farm, and ask Clarissa about the fall farm. Now your administration in office, you still want Clarissa to give the reason why unemployment is at that. Come with something now. And you ask them to vote on Clarissa and others. They're gone. Take up the mantle. Look it, the ball is now in your court. So all the ridicule that you ridiculed, and you say what you say, and you send people home, and I come with an exclusive piece. Because there was a tentative service, or servant I should say, at the market for years, well-respected woman within the market square as the marketing manager. Now you run her faster than a bullet when they all get in office. Faster than a bullet when you get rid of her. Oh, she don't go there, she's NNP and she does campaign for NNP. Now you bring somebody there. Let me say to you, the market in less than 2 years is seeing its third manager from since NDC take office. One come last week. They brought a little one earlier on. They say she's pregnant. They bring one again. Well, CID go tell us better. Now a new one again, an ex-police officer. 3 marketing manager since they took office. The one that was there, up to now you can't say why you don't want her to be there. Now there are allegations surrounding who sell boot and what money and book is missing in the market. Talk about those things. NNP that caused that, right? Understand, people employed at the market square, and the Prime Minister doesn't even know who's the market manager. So you have to tell a particular candidate, a minister, stay out of the market. Don't even go in the market. Because, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, you need to understand that, let me tell you something. Don't worry them, you know. The National Democratic Congress is aware that they're faltering. The National Democratic Congress is aware that they're faltering. And I go help all you further. Because you see, I don't want to tell all you, I don't like to talk. I like to ensure that all you could hear. And then there was a gentleman who assisted me greatly the other day in what I was always saying. And I said that to you all last week, you know. I said that to you all last week. I said, all what is happening, the little meeting and all these things, they're watching it. They're seeing it. And so it's had to shake their chair. And their ground is a little bit shaky now. So they're starting to talk. They go talk. But let me break it down, because we go break it down together with the narrator in this. You understand me? Somebody say, I heard that one that's pregnant, they say got pregnant in Wendy. No, we know what's going on. We're quite aware, Sister Wendy. We're quite aware. Counted 13 of them coming from the... Hey! So you see? Somebody saying they counted 13 of them coming from the plane in Point Saline. 13! The delegation. So you see, I tell you, 5 we see in the picture. 5. Let's go. Let's break that one down. This one is about 5 minutes and so long, but we go break it down nicely. So we go make it sound properly.
The Iceman, I'm doing this as a specialty. The Iceman, I'm doing this as a specialty because I always view Clem Jones as an unofficial voice of the NDC. Now he's taken to pointing out to them their weaknesses. And, you know, this has been pointed out from day one. There's something wrong with the NDC. They're weak. They're spineless. They have abandoned their co-supporters. Listen to this.
That the NDC is losing support from its base, from its people who supported, who voted for them.
I pause in it because we have a narrator, but I will narrate the narrator. You hear what I tell you? I tell you, it's a prophet, you know. I told you guys, it's a prophet. Because when you look, ladies and gentlemen, and you go around constituencies in people that you knew who were die-hard NDC supporters, you're realizing that their very own is not studying them. And that is why I keep telling you all, forget the propaganda conversation, focus on registering friends and family, and let us work for the development of bringing the new national party back in office. Please, let us take our time and do it. You don't have to do. These people are self-destructing, and they're realizing that. Because don't worry about the narrator. The narrator is them does want them to come and say what they want. You hear what he just said? This is an exclusive that he is doing. This was aired on the 10th of April. Last week, while all we meeting taking place, they're watching. They know what's going on. The narrator might come in.
Because those supporters not getting the attention, they're not getting the assistance, they're not getting the help and so on that they should get. You hear me? So the NNP, those MPs who collected now $5,000 a month, right? $5,000 a month and $10,000 constituency allowance. They are now going on their political platforms, in their political meetings, and saying openly that NDC supporters, the base of the NDC, that a number of them are not happy, a number of them, they are bitter, they're angry.
I'll pause it again. The NNP that said that? Let me take that again. Listen to what he said. You know? He says the NNP that said that. Listen to that.
Supporters, the base of the NDC, that a number of them are not happy, a number of them, they are bitter, they're angry.
So is the N, you see, and I want you all to listen this. Everything that happens is the NNP. Persons are given an invitation to attend general meetings. We don't know what side you're there. You come in a meeting with us, you the way Josie. So I don't know the NNP is the reason for this. Listen, Con.
And saying openly that NDC supporters,
We not saying
the
that.
base of the NDC,
We not saying that.
that a number of them are not happy,
We not saying that.
a number of them, they are bitter, they're angry, right?
So we not saying that. Persons are going in meetings. They're given mic. Some people calling on radio programs. Some people speaking to MPs. And is NNP not saying that? How NNP How NNP parliamentary representatives are saying that? How many are persons that are now talking and saying what they're saying? What NNP have to do with that?
Because the NDC MPs, right? The NDC MPs and government ministers are not paying heed to the...
You hear? Where the narrator go down talk, but I want to talk before the narrator. He is saying it. Not we. We are not saying it. He is saying it too. He is seeing it too. And there are others that are seeing it. The National Democratic Congress ministers and MPs, they are not paying attention to their bills. And whose fault is that? And hence the reason why I'm imploring to you supporters, grab them, make case. Let we talk in the airs for the next 3 years. Let we take the $10,000 in which you're talking about, the $5,000 in which you're giving us, and let us give them, let us help them. Because he's speaking facts. And the narrator go narrate now.
They support the court.
Right. Now, here is he speaking, as I said, the unofficial, official voice of the NDC. And he's bringing this to the public. This is something that everybody's aware of for the longest while. Here is now public. You have to question the NDC. Do they know what they're about?
Support to help them, to help their supporters, so that their supporters can be happy. You hear me? They're emboldened. Right now, they feel that they're in thing.
They feel. We feel. We feel.
They're getting $5,000 every month.
So let me translate that for you. They feel that they're in thing. And you know, he says they're emboldened. The NNP is running the country. Ask the people in the various ministries. The NNP is still in charge. And this government, I know they don't like me saying, they're stupid. They have a mandate. They don't know what a mandate is. Unfortunately, they come over as being grossly incompetent.
10,000 constituency allowance. They are invited to all turning ceremony, all events, all activities. Right? Anything government have in their constituency, they're informed, they're invited, as though it's theirs. And then they're going back and say on the political platform, well, they had to invite me because it's our project. We get it. We secure it. That's how they acting.
Well, let me say this. Let me help the gentleman in this process. Who it for? Who does it belong to? Who embryoed it? Whose initiative? Whose fundings and findings? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if not invited, then answer this. You go to a turning ceremony. You don't know squat about it. You don't know from the head to the foot. And you go to a sod turning ceremony and you're asked to say something. What you go say? What you go say? So at the end of the day, you have to invite them. You have to invite them. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones with the information. They are the one who knows about those projects. And so when you all take the chance and all you come and all you tell people, oh, there is we project and those are the things that we're trying to avoid. So that all you don't come and just lie for us. So at the end of the day, we have to make case. We have to do that with speed. Because all these are set of people, if all you don't invite us, from the time the project is signatured or somebody mentioned the project, all you take it. But the fact is, all you don't know about the project. That is the fact. So whenever there are things taking place and we have the opportunity, Papa, let me get a little taste of it. Give me a little taste. Give me a little taste.
Just construction of the Grenada Christian Academy. And can you imagine
Some of them had the audacity to ask what I am doing there. I had to be there because this is an NN.
And that little piece alone I want to play and we'll go back to it. Hey, this boy and them
Iceman, I'm doing this.
Them boys and them out order. Is we thing. Where did the J? Go on.
These, right? Anything government have in their constituency, they're informed, they're invited, they're as though it's theirs, and then they go in back and say on the political platform, well, they had to invite me because it's our project. We get it, we secure it. That's how they acting, as though government have to invite these people. You don't have to be invited. Don't fool yourself.
No, that's a fact.
The government have to invite the opposition in anything, you know.
And that is a fact. But the NDC are so stupid. They don't understand what it is to be in government. And they don't understand Grenadian politics. So they want to be nice guys. Be nice guys. Muhammad Ali once said in an interview, when he was asked, do you hate all white people? Are all white people bad? And he says, if there is a bunch of snakes, rattlesnakes there in a basket in front of me, and there's one good one in there, you telling me I should put my hand in that basket? There's something wrong with the NDC. They don't understand the country and what they need to do. This is not me speaking. Look who is speaking. So the fact that he is saying that, he is part of them. He campaigned for them. He knows some of them on a personal basis. So that shows you the system in terms of the NDC is cock up. Nobody is in control of the fact that this is now public. It's been around for the longest while. People are aware of it. But he has brought it into the public that they are unable to govern. Why? They've brought themselves into this. So I'm going to wind up. Let him speak. Where are you?
I am speaking to you, warning you to be very, very careful that you don't make the same mistake as the NDC of 2008 to 2013.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when I said that last week, that we are getting into the coffers of this administration without even having to follow the propaganda and the hearsay and the they say and the naysay. Fear not of it. And they start to talk about convention and they hear Peter want to be leader and Emlyn want to take leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that this administration, the very same NDC, how many persons walked out of meetings? Ballots was uncounted. Persons posting Cornwall. The same people within the party segregated because they wanted to vote for that side and voted for that side. If you are in the process, ladies and gentlemen, of electing or selecting in any administration, in any country, you will find persons supporting their sides. So even within the new National Party, Dr. Mitchell decide that he's going to leave, and Sister Emlyn decides she wants to take leadership, Sister Kate wants to take it, Brother David wants to take it, whomever it is, persons are going to get the opportunity to select their leader and who they believe is their leader. But it remains one new national party. There wouldn't be no infight. Because at the end of the day, we can speak of many constituencies in which you're hearing persons say when they went to vote, they didn't want to vote for that person. Even Nazim Buck, a past political leader, went on audio, and I want to get my hand on it by the end of the week, when they had the incidents of persons not being able to be in certain things. So when it comes, ladies and gentlemen, to selecting or electing anything, there are going to be sides. It happens In big firms where persons sit down to select the CEO and there are two persons. It happens in churches when persons want to select the pastor or the priest. It happens. So stop getting strayed by if Kid Mitchell give up leadership and then be done and this one is going to fight and this, there is not going to be any fight. There was no fight among them. Because I could clearly remember Rondell Robinson posting Cornwall and telling his executive, vote for Cornwall. You understand me? Vote for who? And at the end of the day, when they came back and the leader was selected, what you saw they was jumping up as, oh, we love Mitchell and we like him. Don't be perturbed, ladies and gentlemen, by this stupid talk that you hear people talking about. They want to make it seem as if there is an infight within the NMP. Nothing so. Because we're still in their craw. Because you're hearing it for yourself. You're hearing it for yourself. You listen to what he said? They're losing the base. And mind you, if you go through politics and political statistics, you would recognize that the base of a party is who really elects a party. The people on the ground. Because the percentage of persons, when you do it, you would realize that sometimes it's a good 40, 50 and counting % of persons. So if they're losing the base, if they could stand, and mind you, if you hear them say that, then if you say that openly, you hear them say he never said that. Ask me for the tape. Ask me for it. I'll just tell all you that. Message me. Stop standing up in the audience with them and argue. Bring facts to them. Go back and play the tape. By the hear that on the class in session program. Message me and ask me for the tape. Some of you standing up and arguing with them, and at the end of the day, when they can't get the point across, it's a set of character assassination. And all your stand up, they call having people call all your names. And me, when they baptized me a hawk, I close my mouth so my tongue didn't get water. So, and when the minute time they start to get hot with me, I get in hot with them. So what I try to do best is avoid them and the conversation of politics. Writing dodgy ducks are coming out the other day, and one preaching as it relates to NDC power and NDC, and somebody said, well, why do I answer him? I said, when I speak on my program, I get paid for that. To stand up here and cussing dodgy ducks is free. They could go with that one too. Because when I'm on my program, I'm doing the work of the new national party. You understand me? Whomever is paying me is not all your business though. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some facts to send in Carriacou. My people and them in Carriacou, good evening, are coming by all and are coming by all real fast because I want to deal with that fast. We have some questions for Brother Tevin. And I want to ensure that I bring it across clearly. Brother Tevin, you claim that the previous festival board was flawed. And I'm going to be posting that later on. So I wanted to go under the comment section and answer those questions for me. That the festival board was flawed. And the former chairman was faced with many accusations and allegations. Honorable Tevin Andrew, we have some questions. Oh, Brother Lackredy say, Mr. Something, sir. Anyway, I don't remember what to tell you. Where is the over 10,000 K that your new board inherited to run the festival? Is it true that the SMC is coming to run the festival in Carriacou? Question 3. Since you came into the office, what improvement have you brought to the festival? Question 4. What is the status of the financial account of the festival committee? Carriacou people. Carriacou people want to know, Brother Tevin. There are questions being posed, and you would see them again later on. Somebody forward it when I post it later on and send it to him. If all you wish, tag him now, because we have questions to ask. Let's go. And I'm reading it. Because I tell you, when we watch me, you have people in the classroom when they bright, some bright students having, because when they're sending things direct. The truth matters and knowledge is poor. You told the people of Carriacou and Pidimagnic, the former NNP administration under the stewardship of the former minister Ken Jabatuwin Stewart and the late Elvin Nimrod did nothing for Carriacou and Pidimagnic. The lie detector says you're a liar. Tell you how some students, they're bright. You said when you get into power and your administration will ensure that the first 100 days, all contract workers will become permanent workers and job will be provided to the people. The lie detector says you're a liar. You blame the ministers for providing jobs, right, only for the boys or for their boys. And when you get into power, nothing of that nature will be happening under your watch. Your uncle says you're a liar. You are asking Senator Nolan Cox to work together with you to unite the people of Sister Isle in a unified effort so that both of you all together can work towards the development of the Tweed Island. Your political device speech at the Carriacou 50th Independence Church service exhibited your continued efforts to exercise malicious political rhetoric. Somebody said, prior to the 2022's election, or general election, you made it clear that no political or government ministers deserve praise for doing infrastructure work, and you will never condemn anyone for doing such, since it's the job, meaning the job of the politician. You went on to say, if you were to praise for any of them for the construction of roads, you'd rather go into a mental institution. You better go there and sit down and wait, because from the time he take office, that is all he doing, posting a set of things, road and all these things. Mr. Minister, while we applaud your political ambition, we are also disheartened with your continued level of disrespect and arrogance towards the media professionals when interviewed about national or political issues. Finally, sounding educated is not being educated. I want to read that again. Finally, sounding educated is not being educated. It is important to seek the necessary knowledge required to effectively manage your emotions as a political person. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, and this piece of exclusive information that was sent to me is Stephen in print. He believes to himself, and mind you, to him, Carriacou have his own national flag. He believes that he is the prime minister. When you see the in Carriacou, you can't talk to Tevin in Carriacou. In Carriacou, Tevin is it. He is Hillsborough. You understand me? And unless you don't break that, brother, just like your close pin friend, the one that's studying online, you may join him. People, stay calm. Stay calm. NDC administration imagery is not the truth. NDC's imagery, what we're seeing, is not the truth. Sooner or later, when things bust, or they will come back on the program and say, I wonder how Royalty James know that. Ladies and gentlemen, 363 days from the last general election to date. 1 year, 9 months and 24 days. And within that 663 days, and let me give you your homework, calculate how long the Prime Minister have been the Prime Minister in state. How long the Prime Minister has been the Prime Minister in state. And we may look at that as a laugh. Yeah, a close-pin minister studying online. We may look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Deacon Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, and you could listen to me. Let me tell you something. When I talk politics, all you could hate me for it. Deacon Mitchell is not giving himself the opportunity to be a political leader. Deacon Mitchell is not taking the opportunity and humbling himself to understand the politics of Grenada. And it is going to be at the state's distribute. A lot of persons in which you, Mr. Prime Minister, is putting in position don't want a squat. One day you go come back and meet your prime ministership on the airport. Because the people of Grenada might have already had an election with you not even being here. So you might just meet it on the airport. You need to, in that first 2 years, humble yourself and would have taken the opportunity to understand politics. I believe that the only bitter politician it had in the 2008 election was Nazim Bok. I'm not afraid to say it. He wanted Dr. Mitchell's prime minister position, in which we thought so bad, because we thought it was Kid Mitchell only wanted. But when they won, we realized that he even wanted Tillman Thomas his own, because he was greedy to become a political leader and prime minister. That's all he wanted. And instead of thinking about the development of state, he considered himself. And so the infight started within the past NDC in 2008. Because when we thought he just wanted Kid Mitchell out as prime minister, even when his own party won, we realized that he even wanted Tillman Thomas out as prime minister. We are seeing that this administration is not respecting the people who developed this party. The persons who fought for the NDC of the past. The ground soldiers who brought NDC after leaks after leaks after leaks. After defeat, these politicians remained there and fought. Foot soldiers remained there and continued every time. By the time one election done, by the time the next election come, and NDC would have seen about 3 political leaders. But they came back and they came back. And those are the people you are not respecting. At the end of the day, Dr. Mitchell's leave the leadership of the party. We know definitely whomever he put there, whenever they become prime minister, he's going to be in the back and he's going to be saying, this is what and this is what. You did not take the time off, Mr. Prime Minister, to humble yourself and learn from persons who have been politicians longer than even your mother and your father put together. They have been in the political arena years. The 2008 NDC, even if they lost in 2013, persons can still say there were times some of them still pick up the phone and call past ministers of government, past PSCs. Persons were still humble enough, even as all politicians, they humble themselves and they make certain phone calls. Because you want to know, you want it because it's a one Grenada. But you're not humbling yourself. You is it. You is it. 663 days. Do the maths as to how long he has been prime minister and how long Andy Williams have been prime minister. And not even acting, because Andy Williams have been the prime minister, and every time he come out from Hollywood, he acting as if he's the prime minister. That's what's going on here. No? Andy Williams is the prime minister, and after the prime minister travel all about and he film all the movie, he come back here acting as if he's the prime minister. So Andy is prime minister. He just acting. Because when he come here, he just for about 10 days and he dance around, he go in something, and then he gone again. He acting. Andy is prime minister. Never seen a man afraid to be in state so. Technological age. Look, you send home, run here. He they cried on the line. Studying. All on the line he's studying. But you must travel. The man don't even live here. They say the last time they passed, they see me in the veranda, hang on to the line and he's studying. Some people down the road. But you can't do that. You must go. Say run right there in the veranda. Hold on to the line in the veranda and he's studying. But some people down the road is studying because they had confusion. That is how he's studying online. Ladies and gentlemen, don't message me, food. I go block all you. I go block some of all you. Don't message me food. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's conversation. It brings us to the end of today's speeches. As I said, in everything that you do, sometimes it is important that you bring justification to what you're saying. As I said with my program, my intention is at no time to defamate anybody's character. I try not to be insultive, threatening, or obscene at no time. I don't believe in propaganda. Because I keep saying to you guys, and every time I would say this, there is no way that an electorate is going to hear you speak about the character of an individual, and that would help him or he or she decide on election day. You have to bring facts to an individual. Imran Francis, good evening to you, bro. You have to bring facts to an individual if you want he or she to vote for your party. Me going and speak as it relates to the sexual orientation of an individual or his sexual preference, to me, is of no benefit to an electorate. So if a particular minister is alleged of being in whatever practice, if an individual going and vote for him on election, they go and go. But if I bring justification to you, but he's in the Ministry of Health, and look at the monies that have been spent in the Ministry of Health, look at what Ministry of Health has been for the past time that he's been there, that to me is more justifiable, makes more sense to an individual who wants to elect or select a party. So the defamation and the talk and the old talk and things that you always want to get involved in, sometimes you see I try to stay away from it on the Facebook platform and other social media platform, because it is not good for your mental health. Because me, I could switch up my character, but what sense does it make? So at the end of the day, I say to you guys, as electorates, define what should happen from what is not happening. Compare and contrast. Understand. Moral standards that I tell you all, there are moral principles that ministers must carry out. Right? And so, when you make that level of judgment, then you would have the understanding as to who I select or elect for election. You don't hate anybody. First and foremost, let's put that aside. That you hate that minister and you hate that person or you hate the prime minister. Put that aside. You may dislike what he or she may do or what have done. But the minute time you start putting hatred in your mind, then you block out anything good or bad. Because some things may be beneficial, because that is government. They have a whole 5 years to reign. And we won't sit on our program every day and say, oh, you know good and they're not good. I mean, the percentage of good to bad is high. But at the end of the day, if it really gets bad, it don't just affect the NDC supporters. People, we are the persons that elected them, even if we didn't give them the X on the day. Even if we didn't. But they are still under our scope and our responsibility. So we have to make certain calls as people within the state. Not because then they come and tell you, oh, you didn't vote for NDC. You are? This is a government representing Grenadians, not NDC supporters. So when they do something wrong, we talking too. When there are things that are given to the state, it is demanded that we get to. But don't be too greedy. If you have already, you're going to ask for more. Right? So these are the things, ladies and gentlemen, that brings political education. Don't go around talking and arguing with everybody. That doesn't make sense. It takes you nowhere. Leave them. As I say, you see the meetings and everything start, and it becomes better. And then you see they going on the platform now and they start to talk. They start to realize the problem. But for some of them, ladies and gentlemen, I could tell you, it is too late. The New York NMP chapter, Carrick-on PD Martinique, they present Spring Fever Brunch on the 21st. This is this Sunday at 12 p.m. with a pop of color. Go be a part of this one, all right? I would not read the entire thing because at the end I would still be reading I'll be playing the audio for the event, all right? The St. Andrews Southeast Youth Arm on June 1st, they do an event called Bougie at Fort View. It's a black and gold event. You pay $10 to get on the east side. Complimentary champagne, you pay $35. Cocktails start at 7, dance start at 10 p.m. All right, so be a part of this one. The NNP Women's Arm in St. John's and Mr. Dario invites senior citizens in St. John's to a luncheon this Wednesday at the old RC School, Fish Friday Street. All seniors are invited. Come and enjoy. There are prizes to be won also. I might go up and be a part of this one. You know, I like to be a part. I like to be around me and NP people and them nowadays. And they can't stop me from going in it. I come in there. They put me out all your crying. And I'm not going back. I don't play with them again. Alright. So ladies and gentlemen, we also had the commencement of the Sweat Nation 7-a-side football competition in the Budge Grove area. Yesterday I was in Budge Grove and it was a wonderful start to the event. Also, there is a bingo coming up. I have to contact my brethren and tell me to remind me of that date. Charlo, whenever you get a chance, link me on that flyer. I think I saw it on your status the other day, so please link me on that flyer. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, by end of month, we should, and I'm going to be posting it later on. I'm just waiting for the print of the jerseys. So we will finally officially have our class in session jerseys. You can also get your class in session teacups, right? Both will be at a very reasonable price. Somebody would have asked the price. We have not yet, gotten that final pricing from the print. So when we get that, we'll be able to negotiate. However, I think when you get a t-shirt and a cup together, you would be able to get it at a more reasonable price. All right. So whenever that drops, everybody would get the opportunity to. If it means that I have to go back and print because I started with a very minimal amount, that is factual. I didn't start with much, but once it's on demand, the persons are going to get it. So you will have that teacup, class in session teacup, and you would be able to also get your t-shirts. All right. We will see whatever other little things that goes with it to make it a nice package. You could wear your jersey, you could drink from your cup. Maybe while you're listening to the program now, you want to have a nice cup of tea. So it is all, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it's good to come up, with certain initiatives, just to drive. Again, the persons on the program, young people within all constituencies, even if you're not listening to the program or young people, we are on a drive to right now get as much young people involved. We want to do educational, social activities. We want to do some hangouts, get young people involved, right? We want to also attempt to see how best we can do that sourcing of maybe little jobs for persons, use our resources. Maybe if we have to create that forum where we have that page where whenever we have employment or persons are looking for persons, you would be able to look on that page and maybe seek wherever, is looking for employment. We want to also do that. If, certain MPs or so on can assist you, they will. We're not saying that is a definite that you're going to get the job, but we want to ensure that this is the trend that we want to take right now. Right? Yeah, so this is the trend that we want to take. We want to, as I said, maybe create that avenue where, somebody wants to, are they looking for employees? We won't be on the page. You could always link us if it means that we have to assist you maybe in a little printing or whatever. Those are the initiatives that we're thinking about taking. Those are the ideas that are coming afloat. So continue to listen to the different programs. One day become, solid information we're going to give you, but I'm just saying to you all the ideas. People, don't afraid to contact myself and Sheldon and whomever and other persons with ideas that you have, initiative, things that you're seeing within your constituencies. We know definitely that there are things that cannot be done by the New National Party, but however, if there are certain initiatives, certain resources in which we can pull together to assist, we can. But don't have it in the back of your mind that the NNP can get it done at this stage. As I said, we may have little resources, we may know people, and we may be able to assist. But little things like maybe a person looking for a baker. I'm seeing in Guave, to the persons in St. John's, we're seeing that they're looking for gas pump attendant, because I think the outlet, the CTEC outlet, is going to be opened. So send your invitation out there. The persons within the area, close proximity, send your application, and those little things, grab those opportunities, and let's get ourselves in gear. The New National Party, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, is in full gear. Be not afraid. We are in full gear, ladies and gentlemen. We have things going on, and we're not going to sit aside and watch our young people be a part of a destructive society and not do anything. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, it was a pleasure being here with you guys. We will see again tomorrow, same time, same place, and we would be able to disseminate all the information in which we would disseminate so that we can keep you well informed. Thank you very much for tuning on to the program. My name is Royalty James. Have yourself a wonderful evening. All right.
Get ready to shake off the winter blues and embrace the vibrant flavors of spring at the NNP Carriacou and Pretty Market New York chapter. Spring Fever Brunch.
My baby, come let me show you niceness.
Indulge in a feast of seasonal delights that will awaken your senses and leave you craving more. It's Sunday, April 21st at 302 East 91st Street between Lennox and Clarkson. It's only $25 with a menu of escovitch fish, barbecue chicken, stewed pork, rice and peas, rolled rice, cuckoo, macaroni pie, and much more. For tickets and more information, contact Nisha at 347-683-1997, Jacinta at 917-615-4918, Wilson at 917-754-1319, or Tanti Marlin at 718-419-5039. Sunday, April 21st from 12 noon, the NNP Carriacou and Pretty Market New York chapter. Spring Fever Brunch.
Tell me why, oh why.
Sinners coming with them I go be dealing, because the things that they do me, I want to fix them personally. Peter looks and say roads by the gate. Peter look the Englishman, we send us roads to Africa land. Peter take Trey, take Raleigh, but leave Victoria for me. Peter I just don't care what you say, but Mussolini can't get away. Why? This is my time for that's law. They never care about the poor. Peter, these people had a day. Well, now it's time for Stalin to play. Peter, wait, I said Peter, wait. Peter, look, Ian Smith by the gate. Peter, I don't want you to make fuss. Remember, I want Christopher Columbus. Peter, look, the Englishman who on South Africa refused to put sanctions. Peter, I just don't care what you do, but Reagan told in the fire too. Why? This is my time for money. Blazing. This is our time for money. Running. Don't grudge me, your hand done full already. You don't deal with the Führer. Go ahead and take Foster. But that woman Mary, remember that's my baby. So much confusion that she make. You got to give Black Stalin a break. Peter, wait, I said Peter, wait. Peter, look, Porter reach by the gate. Reporter, I don't want you to waste time. Remember we still have more than behind. Peter, look, the Englishman who sent foreign troops in Africa land. Peter, I just don't care what you say. The Ku Klux Klan man can't get away. Why? Blazing. I'm running. That's me. One damn boy. Coming. Stop pushing, they have plenty more coming. They call them from overseas, but leave my lady. During the lifetime, to me they were so unkind. So much corruption that they make. Now it is time they must feed me way. Peter, don't hold me back. Look, the one we draft the public order. Peter, look, catch that big belly fella. We carry my money down Panama.